Now the clocks have changed, so I'm back at this slightly later sunrise. It's now 5:30. Oh, 6:30 instead of 5:30. So extra hour sleep, and it certainly makes a difference. So this morning I'm actually not going to watch this van life Sunshine Coast British Columbia adventure video. That's kind of what I want to do. That's what I was watching last night. But this morning I'm going to get into some of this stuff. Oh boy, where is it? So at the moment I'm doing this narrative therapy online course because I'm studying a graduate diploma in counselling. So it's a really interesting online course that I'm doing. And so narrative therapy is all about the stories that we tell in our lives, and it's all these little dots. Think about it as all these different dots. And the stories we think about our lives is just connecting certain dots. And narrative therapy is really about helping people to understand that there's lots of other dots. It's not just the path and the story that you conjure up in your mind. There's more. There's not just that one story. There's multiple. There's a plethora, shall we say, of different stories all happening at once that make up your life. So people often get stuck on one story. So that's a bit of a summary. Can you imagine? I found this by the side of the road. It's quite a cool little piece of artwork, isn't it? This idea of story is really fascinating because we have the story of our lives, but how do we restory it? How do we flip the script? How do we rewrite the script? This much of our life has been lived up until now, and so we've written on those pages, but the rest is all unwritten. So being the authors of our story, what are we going to write? What are we going to create? And what are we going to do and be for the rest of our lives? Because life is often over too soon, and if we continue to live those old stories, we don't allow for these new stories and the new version of ourselves to come forth. For example, I had to move from my story of being a traveller in 2020 when the pandemic hit. My whole identity and my whole story was of being a traveller, moving around the world. I had to then change my story and adapt to being a person who dwells in one place. And I resisted that process a lot. I wanted to still be a traveller and was holding on to those old stories. But life continues and it throws you curveballs sometimes, and only really recently have I been able to really re-story or recraft what my story is, to accept that I am a dweller of one location, and to just try and do as much and be as much as possible here, and then possibly sometime in the future the story of being a traveller may open up again, which is an exciting concept. So maybe that's something good to reflect on, is what are the stories that you tell yourself? What are the narratives that you have about your life and about yourself that you've gathered from the society and from family, the dirt that's gathered on you? Can we take a shower and take that off, start anew, and write these new stories? And if so, what would be that story that you write? Anyway, that's all for today. Peace.